everybody, and welcome back to the Berry Mountain Homestead. Today we're doing a fun video. We're doing a collab video called The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Thank you to Quebec Homestead for tagging us in this.
So down below we will link Quebec Homestead's YouTube channel. We'll also put a playlist of other homesteading channels that have done this collab. So be sure to go ahead and check out that playlist, check out Quebec Homestead's YouTube channel, and this way you can kind of see everybody's good, bad, and ugly of their garden this season. So the good of the garden is definitely getting to walk around with our coffee in the morning and just check everything out. And we're going to take you around and show you just a couple little things that we're excited about this season in the garden. If you've been following us for a while, you probably have seen these things grow from seed, and it's just really awesome to get to experience, I think, just watching your garden grow, how it changes every single day. And so that's definitely the good, I think, in every garden, every season. So we brought you guys down to the lower garden because this is where a lot of what we're growing this season is at, and I just think some of the things that we're excited for this season are definitely our tomatoes, so we'll show you them. And we're trying also some watermelons for the first time, and just like, I don't know, the cattle panels too, I think, are something that we're pumped for this year that we are trying.
The cattle panels really seem to be working. They are going up, they're weaving in and out on their own. We almost don't need to even tie them up, but we have at the top just to make sure they're not falling over when they get heavy. Yep. But we're really happy with how they worked out. I don't know if you guys can see this. Let me get these out of the way. Look at these giant tomatoes. These are the Dr. Witchy's yellows. They're as big as my hand.
And they're not done growing, I doubt.
No, they're nowhere close to being done. They're not even turning yellow yet. They are just monsters. These aren't cat-faced or anything. They're just big tomatoes.
And then another good thing, I think, this season is really just the whole garden. Like the mix of my mom's stuff and ours, and just how it's laid out with the flowers like sprinkled all throughout to attract pollinators. It's a peaceful garden, don't you think? Like, I just feel like it feels good when you come in here. So with every garden, every season, it's never perfect. There's always some things, you know, that just don't go as planned, or just battles you have in the garden. And so we're gonna move on to the bad and to the ugly. So the bad this year, and honestly probably every year we have this battle, is squash bugs. And we're gonna share with you guys how we manage them. Really, the only way to manage them is to try to keep removing them from the plants.
There is no real way to get, we've found, just eliminate squash bugs. So like she said, management is key.
Yeah. Get
rid of them, and they come back, you do it again. We haven't found a way to get rid of them completely. If you guys do know a way, please let us know.
So what we do is we get duct tape. We roll it around our hand like this, and you turn over the leaves, and when you see the eggs, which we'll show you, you just stick the duct tape on the eggs and try to remove them. Same thing if they hatched and there's like little squash bug babies, do it too. But really, if you can find the adults, that's, I feel like, that's the key. They like to hide too under in soil, under mulch, under your straw, or whatever it is. They like to hide under things. I have heard people who put like a log or something down, and they'll go under there and then they lift the log up and find them. I've never tried that, but it's something you could do. So yeah, let's show them some squash bug eggs. All right, so I have my duct tape, and I'm just going to lift back the leaves because they hide under. So there they go. They have to be in a little groove of the plant right there, and then you just take your duct tape, and I kind of push it from the other side and grab as many of them as I can. It's kind of gross, but after you do it for a while, it is what it is. So that's how you get the eggs. So I have literally spent, like, I feel like hours doing this over the course of the season, but here's some that have hatched. Ugh, if that's not the bad. Okay, so there's some babies that have hatched. Same thing, I'm just gonna go in and grab them. Oh, it's gross. It is, but what are you gonna do?
Smush them.
Because they're gonna eat your plant when they, as soon as they hatch, they're feeding off of the plant.
And for some reason, we have them on almost every leaf here.
Well, it's like you do it and then you're good to go for a couple, not even a couple weeks. I would say like maybe a week it's less, and then they all come back again. But if you can find the adults, I mean, that's a big thing that helped. I want to say that the other day I did this and I think I killed like 8 adult squash bugs. So that was a success for sure. So some people might think that this is ugly, but we actually the other day had something I would say is a little bit more ugly in the garden, and that is a hornworm. And if you have grown tomatoes, you're all too familiar with hornworms. But this was the biggest one I've ever seen. Now, I'm sure other people probably have seen ones this big. I personally haven't. It was gross and huge.
This tomato hornworm was, I mean, it's a giant. It's so big, it was eating whole tomatoes. They're grape tomatoes, but it was eating whole tomatoes. It topped an entire tomato plant. It ate the leaves off of entire branches. It was so big because it was probably there for a while. We missed it. And it was just growing and growing because it was eating our plant. It was the size of a mouse. Maybe bigger than a mouse. Not as fat, but just the same size. Well, and also, like, you know how hornworms, this is really the ugly of the garden, but usually when I find hornworms, the flies have laid, it's so gross, they lay eggs on it and then they shrivel up. This one, that hadn't happened yet, which is why I think it looks so big, because it hadn't had that happen. That is the real ugly, because you're picking tomatoes and all of a sudden you touch one and it's gross. But this one was well alive, still destroying our plant. Like Tony said, it topped the tomato plant. But the bonus of having chickens is that you can always feed it to your chickens and they will enjoy it. Yes. So that is what we did, and it loved it. Oh yeah. All right, guys, so that was the good, the bad, and the ugly of our garden this year, so far, at least. Yeah. If any of you have a garden and want to do this collab with everybody, go ahead, do it. We're not tagging anyone specific. We tag anyone with a garden. Everyone that wants to do it can do it. It's good, the bad, and the ugly. And you don't have to be like a homesteading channel. Anyone at all. If you grow veggies, you can do it too. Because everyone has a good, a bad, and the ugly. Yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that thumbs up, and we'll catch you next time. On the edge of my bed.